What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So I recently went out to go see the third installment of the Terrifier franchise, and it's called Terrifier 3. It's directed by Damien Leone once again. It's taking place 5 years after the events of the second film, and Art the Clown's been sleeping for so long until he one day wakes up on Christmas Eve, and he's going to continue to wreak more havoc. The guys, like, I was not really looking forward to Terrifier 3 because it was a franchise that I really was not really into when I watched the first one. But to be fair, this is before I watched the second film that a lot of people raved about, saying that this is far better than the first one because the first movie to me felt like a cheap cut slasher film that was done on a really low budget, and it just looked like it was cheap. And I didn't really care about the three victims that were in the film. And Art the Clown was the only thing that was interesting of the whole film, and it was just nothing but so much gore fest and a lot of body parts getting ripped apart. It was just a lot of like torture porn, and I just really could not get into it. So I had to force myself to watch the entire thing to prep for the third movie. And then when I watched the second film that a lot of people recommended, that to me felt like a better movie, and it felt like a real movie. The budget looks like it was done well, that the acting looked like it gotten better. Even the cast that I was never familiar with, I thought it was very well acted. And yes, they took the gore fest into a whole nother level. And I love the fact that they explored the lore of the mythology with Art the Clown, and there's a supernatural element to it, and apparently he is the demon clown. But we still didn't really know much about the lore, but I'm glad that they were able to plant a seed for us to look forward to the next film. And they took the gore fest on a whole nother level with a lot of body parts getting ripped apart. Art the Clown will even toy with your body while you're still alive, while you're being ripped apart from skin to skin, even ripping your arm off, all that stuff. And the director would let you see it and feel it, especially when we see a lot of body parts getting ripped apart, and it was done on a practical effects. There's no blood splatter with CGI. There's none of that stuff. He kept it practical. The second film felt like it was an old school retro 80s movie that was taking place in the modern day time, and it looked really good, and I really found myself enjoying Terrifier 2. Now, going into Terrifier 3, I didn't know what the hell to expect and who was going to appear to the next movie, but we got the returning character Sienna Shaw that is played by LaVera, and I thought she was fantastic. She was the last victim, the sole survivor of the last movie from Art the Clown, and I thought she was incredible. I mean, she was the best like final girl since Nev Campbell from the Scream franchise, and her acting was incredible, and I wanted to see more. And it was great that she was returning to the next movie. And it felt like that after Terrifier 2, it looked like they finally found a formula of what this franchise should be. Because the first movie felt like an experiment, and he was just making this up on the fly. But in the second one, it really set the stage of what he wanted this franchise to go. And he learned from the criticism. He took out things that didn't work, and took out and brought it over the things that really delivered. And he literally learned from the criticism, but he still was able to take creative control, because before Terrifier 3, I believe that the studio told him that he had to tone down the gore fest, and he refused. And he's like, no, I'm going to keep doing what I do best, and make sure it's much of a gore fest as possible. And I thought Damien Leone really delivered the third film, and I really found myself enjoying it. And I love the returning character Sienna Shaw, who was the final girl from the last movie. She suffered from a lot of PTSD from the last events of the second film. She's been in an institution for 5 years, and now she's trying to rehabilitate her life and trying to return to her home. And now she's spending time with the family, who was the aunt and uncle and her cousin during the holidays. And I thought that the family was actually really good. I felt so invested in the family. I was invested with Sienna Shaw's character even more. I love her more and more I see her on screen. She really brought the humanity and weight to this film without being like a little throwaway generic slasher film. And I thought that the screen time she had with her and her cousin was so touching and moving. Even the actress who played the cousin was actually very talented. She's got a lot of potential, and I think she should be in a lot more projects, because there are a lot of the people in the cast that I was not familiar with. And Art the Clown, who's finally returned after 5 years of hibernation, he takes another body part gore fest into a whole nother level again. Once again. Oh my God, they really don't shy away with the body count. Especially seeing him ripping the body parts apart, finding some creative ways to kill the victims, even when he goes on a murder spree who are just randos. He doesn't care. And the one thing that Damien Leone did that I never thought he would do in a horror slasher movie is that he's willing to kill all people who are all ages, and he doesn't care if you're a good person or a bad person. The Art the Clown will kill you no matter what. He feels no remorse. He's very ruthless, more ruthless than I thought he would be. And he's partnered with the one female demon, that one who's pulling all the strings, and I can't remember her name, but she was in the last film. And she's the one who's orchestrating this whole killing spree and pretty much controlling Art the Clown. I think she's controlling Art the Clown. I could be wrong, but who knows? But I thought that David Howard Thornton really delivered playing Art the Clown. He's now becoming one of the most iconic antagonists of a slasher villain in the history of cinema. Now, I don't know if he's really quite there yet on the same level with Michael Myers or Chucky, Freddy Krueger, or Jason Voorhees. He's kind of still more of a cult favorite, kind of like Hellraiser or Leprechaun or whatever. But he's starting to get there, and it's starting to get to the point where this movie is continuing to get better and better. They did slow down the movie a little bit. They didn't try to go too much of the gore fest at every 5 minutes of the film. They gave us time to give us character growth with Sienna Shaw's character. We're exploring a little bit more of the flashback of her past with her and her father, because her father has the ability to have premonitions, and she knows that she's chosen for a higher purpose. Even with that sword that we saw at the end of the second film, that it's powerful and it's mystical magic, and it protected her and it defeated the clown the first time around. And I thought Lauren Rivera puts on an incredible performance again. She's amazing. I mean, she's now becoming one of my favorite final girl in the slasher film, and I'm curious to, and I would love to see more roles for her. She definitely has the acting chops. She definitely can carry the movie. She has a charisma, of course. And then we got a returning character, which is Sienna Shaw's brother, Jonathan Shaw, the one who really knew about Art the Clown, who was obsessed with it in the second film. He comes back, and this is a 5 year time jump where now he's in college. I'm still a little bit concerned about his age, because I don't know how old he really is in real life. I tried looking it up and I couldn't find it. I mean, he may be older than he looks, but he does come off a little bit of a 15-year-old kid. But even when he's playing a college kid in this third film, but my biggest gripe is that I wish that he would have had more screen time, a little bit more to do. I feel like he didn't really have that much to do. He was in his character is all about trying to move on from those events of him happening and completely block it all off, even though he suffered through a lot of PTSD too. But he's trying to like masculate of what he's really feeling and what he's really going through. But I feel like he didn't really have that much to do, and I was a little disappointed. And there's a few my favorite scenes in the movie, which is one, the bar scene with Santa. When the Art the Clown shows up in the bar and Santa Claus is in it, and I thought that was my favorite scene of the whole movie, and it was very funny too. There's a lot of humor, dark humor in the movie than I thought there would be, and yeah, this movie is literally more of a Christmas movie, even though this is a horror slasher film. But now this is becoming more of a Christmas movie and a horror slasher movie, and this is becoming a win. And this is going to be the perfect time watching it during the holidays, even though that this movie came out during the spooky season. And yeah, this was a smart move putting out during the spooky season. And and there's another scene in the movie, the shower scene, which it was so fucked up on so many levels. God, there's like I said before, there's a lot more gore fest that's gonna make you feel uncomfortable, and it's so unsettling to look at. It was not very pleasant. God damn, like they don't shy away with ripping body parts into shreds. It's just complete total bad shit crazy. And another negative that I will say, that the opening prologue where we see a random family in the movie, I feel like they weren't quite needed, because then what was the point of that scene if they never come back later in the film? I feel like it was just thrown in there to set the tone of what the third movie is. And I feel like they didn't really need to be there, because if you would have cut that prologue out of the film, it wouldn't have changed anything, to be honest with you. Overall, I'm going to say this right now, that this is definitely the best out of the three Terrifier movies, and now I'm starting to become a fan of the franchise myself. Now, I'm not going to say that this movie is going to be made for everybody, because sometimes people don't like watching gore fest and watching that biggest torture porn, kind of like the Saw films. But I've seen some kids, 15-year-old kids, going to see this film, and I don't know if it's because they stuck right in, but who knows? But I will say that this is definitely one of the best horror films we've seen all year. It might be in my top 20 or top 10, who knows? And my final verdict for Terrifier 3, it's going to be a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really damn good. I thought it was very entertaining. Yeah, there's going to be gore fest that's going to make you feel uncomfortable and probably going to make you want to throw up a bit at times. But I thought it was still entertaining to watch. But at least it had a good story and a good plot and good character writing, where they don't like the protagonist is not just some generic. You really felt invested with Sienna Shaw's character, and at the end of the film, it's going to make you want to watch the fourth one right away. And right now it's tracking it's now sitting at $30 million at the worldwide box office, and it was a $2 million to make the third film, because the first two movies, the first one what cost them like 30 grand to 50 grand of the budget, and the second film cost them 250 grand to make. It was a smart move for Damien Leone to do a low budget horror slasher movie without overextending themselves in the marketing, because we know that most studios, they tend to overextend the marketing and they tend to overspend so much money on the budget for big blockbuster movies. And I think that was a smart move to keep the budget low so you can make your money back in order to make more of it. And I thought it was great. And now, what did you think of Terrifier 3? Did you love it, or was it for you and you were not invested in this movie? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you leave it a like. It helps the algorithm for my channel. And make sure you hit that subscribe button for more of my videos to come. My goal is to reach 500 subscribers. And if you want to follow my social media links, the link tree will be down in the description below. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, and stay tuned for more.